Kamaji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So, how are you?
Very fine, Prabhuji. Fine.
Very fine, very fine. Very good to hear that. Okay. Janardhanji, Hare Krishna. How are you?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranam.
How is your chanting going?
Good, Prabhuji. I'm continuously chanting 60 rounds every day.
Okay.
By His grace.
Very good.
And reading all the scriptures, Bhagavatam every day I'm reading. Like that, slowly I'm progressing. I can't say I'm fully progressing, but I don't know, inch by inch, I think it is going.
Very good. It's a lifelong mission. See,
Yeah, it is a mission, Prabhuji, I know.
We will progress some percent. Whatever we lack, no, Krishna will fulfill. Balance percent. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Even if you are progressing 5%, 95% Krishna will give you grace marks and pass you.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
That is what, all these scriptures say, Prabhupada also says. But you have to go on doing every day. You should not leave.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, yes. Very important.
If you say, oh, I already have done everything, or what to do, nothing to do, then a problem.
Oh, Lord. There's plenty to do, Prabhuji.
Every day we should do bhakti, sadhana. That's what Dhruva Maharaj did whole life. Until the end of his life, he was doing. Prabhupada showed us also. Until the end of your life, you have to go on doing your sadhana, preaching.
Definitely. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yes. Shilaji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Likewise, we are also inching our way up every day, trying our best to be in Krishna consciousness throughout the day, as far as possible. Reading, chanting, and making prasadam at home, all these things. And this sadhu sangha we are having now, this kind of classes.
Also,
we wait for it.
You should also speak to some more people whom you can influence.
Yes.
Important. Because what we hear, we should speak.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Because this is one more aspect of our Krishna conscious philosophy, that we understand and we try to influence or make as many people try to follow Krishna. That's all, as much as possible.
Yes,
right? Because we can always, that is what Krishna wants. Prabhupada wants us to do that. That will only further make our Krishna conscious life more enriching and enlivening and satisfying.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Krishna, Prabhuji, I've got one small thing on this. Actually, I used to go to my eye doctor. So every time I meet her, I first say Hare Krishna. So initially they were very quiet and they never replied. Then the second time when I went, I said again Hare Krishna. Then she replied back Hare Krishna. Then in the third time when I went to meet her again for my checkup, she had although there are many patients waiting outside, she spoke to me for half an hour about Krishna. And I managed to give her a Bhagavad Gita to start with,
So nice. See?
Like that,
That is what
Yes,
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
And Hare Krishna. That's all. Good words. Good, very nice. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. आपका साधना अच्छा चल रहा है ना? आपका और माता जी का. Going well. Every day you're coming for Mangala Arati. Both of them are doctors. Hare Krishna Prabhu and Mataji.
Who are doctors?
Doctors, and then they are fully stationed in Vrindavan now, attending full sadhana and doing services in temple. Okay. Vijala Mataji knows, right?
Yes. We had the good fortune of meeting them in Puri and Mayapur. Yes. Very good association we have.
They have got initiated now.
Oh, nice.
Very
Very nice.
Okay, fine. Gupta ji, welcome.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. You're drawing back.
Yes, I am going back. Yes.
Okay. Fine. So anyway, you can continue to do Shravana, hearing. Okay, yeah?
Yes, please.
Okay. So let's start our session. Like today, many are absent. Anyway, we will do our class. Begin with our prayers. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinam Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Charine Nirvisesha Shrimad Paschatya Deshatarini Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Radha Vrindavan Chandra ki jai.
Jai.
Hai Gauranga ki jai.
Jai. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so let's take a quick recap of the chapter 4, which we are discussing. We're almost coming towards the last portions of the chapter. So this chapter is titled Transcendental Knowledge. The reason why Lord Krishna is speaking this now, this whole instructions on 4th chapter, is to enlighten all of us who are covered by lust. Our consciousness is right now covered by lust. Jnanam avritam ketena jnanino nityavairina. Avritam jnanam edena jnanino nityavairina. Krishna said, Kama rupena kaunteya. So, Kama rupena, in the form of lust, our mind, senses, intelligence, our consciousness is covered, because of which we are acting in a way which is contrary to our real nature as spirit soul. Lust is overpowering us, our consciousness, so much that we are thinking, I am independent. I have come to enjoy my senses here independently. This is the consciousness we are having now. So this consciousness is entangling, and it is forcing us to take repeated births and deaths. So Krishna is telling this type of entanglement is not befitting the soul. It has to awaken to real understanding of what is its real position. So Krishna begins this chapter by giving his own understanding about his transcendental nature. That he is unborn, he is eternal, and he specifically comes to this material world in his spiritual form, transcendental form, to reclaim us, to take us back to spiritual world. That is the reason he comes. Whoever is fortunate will grasp this wonderful opportunity and catch hold of Lord Krishna and return back to spiritual world. So in Kali Yuga, Krishna has descended as his holy name. So just uttering his holy name, Kali Kale Krishna Nama Avatara, Nama Rupa Krishna Avatara. So just uttering his holy name, Krishna is there in his holy name as sound incarnation, and carefully hearing the holy name, you will get the association of Krishna. And association of Krishna means you are on the path back to spiritual world. This is the whole message Krishna gave us in the beginning chapters. And while performing our spiritual duties, Krishna also mentioned that you have a baggage in your mind, in your consciousness of your so many previous lives, karmas, acting. I've been mentioning that there is a baggage of guna, kala, karma, which is already is influencing us moment to moment. Right? Guna, kala, karma, these are all intertwined in a way that the previous karma is creating a specific profile of our thinking, feeling, willing, under the influence of time, to act in a specific way. So this moment to moment, our decisions, our understanding, our discrimination is all right now colored. It's all influenced by our previous action-reaction cycles, right? So this has to be properly streamlined. That is the instruction Krishna gives in the later part of this chapter, telling that this has to be streamlined in a specific manner as prescribed in the scriptures, not whimsically. Scriptures tell us that each of us are carrying a baggage with us. Spiritual duty is, of course, to follow what Prabhupada has given us to chant Hare Krishna. And we have so many other tendencies which are very much part of our life. As long as we are alive, we are going to live with it. How to see that we dovetail in Prabhupada's language. Dovetail means how to, so that we engage those tendencies effectively so that we can enhance our devotion. Krishna was giving us the directions with regard to performing actions as directed by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, which are known as akarma, which will not have any reaction. Right? So these akarmic activities are such that you need to have a proper background consciousness with regard to understanding why you are doing this, what for you are doing this, and for whom you are doing this. Generally, our consciousness is covered by the consciousness of lust. It should be for me, and should be for my enjoyment. I should enjoy. I should experience all the happiness, me and mine. This is a consciousness generally people are guided by. So Krishna is very clearly telling, akarmic consciousness means you act only for Krishna, don't expect any result for Krishna, offer all results to Krishna. Then don't have any such determination for your personal enjoyment. Like this, Krishna goes on detailed way in the the second portion of this chapter, right? And to come to this level of akarmic way of working, you need to perform yajna. Yajna means prescribed activities which are meant only to satisfy Krishna. And there are different types of yajnas we have been discussing. Yajna for devatas, yajna for offering oneself in the fire of Supreme Brahman, impersonal. There are so many other yajnas called dravya yajna, tapo yajna, swadhyaya yajna, like this. Different grades of people have different varieties of yajna. Yajna basically means activity meant to satisfy the Supreme Lord. Based on the individual's level of understanding, his faith, his consciousness, people take up different types of yajnas. Krishna concluded this section on yajnas, performance of different yajnas, by telling that sarvam karmakhilam partha gnane parisamapyate. Any activity you do, it should culminate in awakening real understanding in you that I am eternally part and parcel of Krishna. Prabhupada says this is the mystery about different sacrifices. Right? If one's faith is just on the level of, oh, I'll get some benefits, material benefits by performing these yajnas, then the activity will remain on the material platform. Just like nowadays, people do perform many rituals, many pujas, many activities. They go to pilgrimage places, but their intention is just on the level of, I can enjoy my life better. I can have better facilities, or I can have, my family will have good health, good wealth. If that is the, is sarvakama, intention of sarvakama, it remains on the material platform. Right? We should have akama. Akama means no desire for personal enjoyment, only desire to satisfy Krishna. So basically, any activity you do, especially prescribed activities meant to satisfy Krishna, should be meant for awakening our real understanding, transcendental knowledge that I am part and parcel of Krishna. I am eternally servant of Krishna, and I have to engage my holistic self my mind, body, senses, intelligence, everything in service of Krishna. That is the conclusion which Krishna gave. Right? So the first portion with regard to Krishna's transcendental nature and incarnate to deliver us, and we being humans, in the human form of life, we are supposed to follow this, or rather, we are supposed to understand this wonderful truth about Krishna's incarnation and catch on to the specific incarnation of this age and take full advantage of the incarnation and liberate ourselves. And while doing this, we also have to do our duties, other duties, other inclinations. So those duties, how to do is what we have, how to work is what Krishna has explained. Now, Krishna is going to explain in the next part of this chapter, verse number 34 onwards, the importance of approaching a spiritual master. Right? So any yajna performance or any direction for performing specific duties in your life require a direction. This already Krishna has hinted in the previous chapter, third chapter only, with regard to that verse, Prakrite Kriyamanani Gune Karmani Sarvasha. Prabhupada explains how that verse Prabhupada says that with regard to understanding how to perform, we need to have a proper guide, proper spiritual master to take us forward in our spiritual life. Otherwise, we'll be misguided. Right? We don't know what to do. So in that way, now Krishna is going to explain to us how what is the role of a guide in our life. The verse 34, Krishna says, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshinaha. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. So this principle Krishna has been in different ways mentioning. Arjuna himself demonstrated this in the second chapter by submitting himself to Krishna as spiritual master and himself as disciple. Krishna as spiritual master, himself as disciple. This is the principle Krishna has been teaching from the very beginning. And in the beginning of the fourth chapter also, Krishna explained there is a parampara or a disciplic succession wherein this knowledge has been passed down, transcendental knowledge has been passed down in the royal line of disciplic succession and in the devotee line of disciplic succession. So Arjuna was chosen as one of the recipients of this knowledge to further disseminate this knowledge. So the transcendental knowledge can be understood. The real understanding can come or can be realized only when you approach a spiritual master. This particular principle Krishna further explains in the 13th chapter also as one of the items of knowledge. He says, Acharyopasanam. Acharyopasanam means you have to approach a bona fide spiritual master. So, approaching a spiritual master for transcendental knowledge is a very essential item in the Vedic scriptures. Tad vijnanartham sagurum evavi gachet. Vedic statement, which means you have to approach a spiritual master. You must. No option. I'll figure out myself. I'll find out myself. This is not possible in the field of spiritual understanding. Right? So, in fact, in the matter of any understanding, it is not possible. And especially in the matter of spiritual understanding, it is the mercy which flows from Krishna to spiritual master. And spiritual master will further will bestow that mercy upon the aspiring disciple or the serious, sincere disciple. Prabhupada explains this. Right? When the student is submissive, student is always ready to render service, the reciprocation of knowledge inquiries become perfect. Right? So, what is the qualification of a student or a disciple? And how should he approach a spiritual master for further moving forward in spiritual understanding? Is the point. See, we have just now discussed. Krishna was telling, any activity you do should bring you to the platform of knowledge. And this knowledge can be easily received or revealed in a more better language when you approach a bona fide spiritual master. And how to approach him? In a submissive mood. Pranipatena, surrendering mood, submissive mood. Then pariprashnena, we have to inquire in a submissive mood. And sevaya, surrender service. Three things are stressed here. We have to be submissive, we have to have the service attitude, and we need to inquire in the mood of trying to understand things nicely. Not in a challenging mood. Very important. Right? Challenging mood will not give you any understanding. This challenging mood only will show, rather will only indicate that, oh, I know better than the other person. I'm simply testing whether he knows or not. That is not the mood. So three important qualifications of a disciple or a student is mentioned here. He should be submissive. He should be inquiring with a mood of trying to understand subject matter more clearly. And thirdly, he should be ready to offer any service anytime. The submissive hearing is what is stressed throughout Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. We are not hearing Bhagavad Gita just for some information. It's a very important point we have to understand. Because a professor in a college can go through the whole book maybe within some time, and he may verbatim tell you everything. Oh, this verse tells this verse tells this. That is academic way of presentation. Bhagavad Gita is not academic way of presentation. Bhagavad Gita is a devotional presentation. Right? So it has to be, it's the realized knowledge. So submissive hearing will give you, you are trying to hear, trying to understand the spiritual subject matter, whatever. Basically the knowledge is, spiritual knowledge is what? Spiritual knowledge is a Shakti, which spiritual master will reveal. Divya Jnana Hriday Prakashito. It's not like material knowledge. When I say submissive hearing, it is not like material knowledge which can be grabbed. Or no, that is how people think, oh, I can just read, understand, I will get to know. It's not like that. It has to be bestowed. It has to be received when it is given. That's why we are seeing in the morning Guru Puja every day, Divya Jnana Hriday Prakashit. When spiritual master reveals the knowledge, it will be manifest in my heart. The important difference. That is the reason for submissive. Submission means what? You are humbly requesting. You are humbly requesting, you are begging. You are begging for the knowledge. That's what it means. Submission means. You are not demanding. It's a very important aspect in spiritual understanding. Right? So in the material field, what happens? Depending on your karmic abilities, you may understand some things. In a classroom of 50 students, everybody will not understand everything of what is taught as a material knowledge. Based on his karma or his level of intelligence, what he can understand, grasp, only he can understand. Right? In spiritual understanding, no qualification is required. Right? But only qualification required is your submission. You may be materially disqualified, uneducated, doesn't matter. But if you are submissive with regard to these aspects of spiritual knowledge which is being given by the spiritual master, and without any challenging attitude, and with the mood of service, you want to take this understanding and want to practically follow them, that is good enough. That's the point. So spiritual knowledge, spiritual understanding, spiritual realization will be bestowed upon. Prabhupada is very clearly telling, right? So basically, the sincere student should be genuinely seeking this understanding. Then it will be bestowed upon by the spiritual master when he sees that, oh, really he wants this knowledge, right? So this is what Prabhupada is saying to tell us here, that the path of spiritual realization is undoubtedly difficult, not easy. So if you go on speculating, go on doing so many logical way of analyzing and arguments, it's not going to help us. The easiest way is to approach a bona fide spiritual master who is coming from the parampara, beginning from Lord himself. And I have told also on many other occasions, I'll repeat again. In the present situation, there are 4 disciplic successions coming from Krishna. One disciplic succession is beginning from Brahma. From Brahma, his disciple, his son Narada to Vyasa to Madhvacharya, like this disciplic succession. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in part of this parampara, and Prabhupada is that Acharya in this parampara. This is called Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. There's one more disciplic succession, Sampradaya, beginning from Lakshmi ji, Mother Lakshmi, called Sri Sampradaya, which is very much common in many South Indian Vishnu temples. Right? So this is the Acharya, main Acharya of this Sampradaya is Sri Ramanujacharya. Right? And there's one more Sampradaya called Rudra Sampradaya, starting from Lord Shiva himself. And the Acharya of this main Acharya is Vishnu Swami. Right? And the 4th Sampradaya, authentic Sampradaya, is called Kumara Sampradaya. Starting the 4 Kumaras, the 4 sons of Brahma, Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanandana. And the main Acharya is Nimbarakacharya. There are many, followers of Nimbarakacharya in Vrindavan. So like this, these are the 4 main Vaishnava Sampradayas. Prabhupada says they are like how in a country there may be different political parties. There may be some difference of opinion and the way they function, but their whole aim is to serve the country. Right? Likewise, all these Sampradayas may have some philosophical differences, but their whole aim is how to serve Krishna. Because everybody is beginning from Krishna. Right? They have one particular line of understanding, and it's all authentic way of understanding. Right? I was just, before I started, before this session, I was just, came across one nice statement from one Sri Sampradaya great Acharya by name Nammalvar. He is, writing, victory, victory, victory. Very soon, Yamaraj will not have any work. Why? Because all the souls in Kali Yuga will be chanting and dancing the holy names of Krishna. Just see, same understanding which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling and whatever Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya is telling. So, if you carefully understand all the philosophical line of thoughts, it is all going towards Krishna's surrender, devotion to Krishna. But different ways and means. Because every person is individual. There is no one stereotype way of working. Right? That's what it is. That is the main understanding. So, you have to approach one of these paramparas, acharyas, discipline successions. Then you can be assured that you are following the right path. Any other sampradaya or any other person telling that I have my own, sampradaya, I am something independent, then we cannot accept, or we reject that person immediately. Because it's like the main power source and the power line coming down. If there is no connection to the main power source, current is not flowing only. Right? There's no power means you put your plug, you put whatever, no current is coming. Right? It may look like, oh, nice socket, everything is there, but power is not coming. No. That's what it is. So disciplic succession means, parampara means the acharyas are connected to that powerhouse, Lord Krishna. From there, they are drawing the power. That power is coming down. It is passed down to the disciples. That knowledge, that understanding, the spiritual strength is passed down. That is how it is. So, this is what Krishna is telling us. If you want to approach Krishna, it has to be through his bona fide acharyas who will take us to Krishna, who will connect us to Krishna. And these 4 sampradayas are the authentic sampradayas. Any other person claiming to be that he is a guru and doesn't even know where he is going, then you should immediately reject. Prabhupada says they are all bogus gurus, fake gurus. In many occasions, Prabhupada had opportunity, especially in the Western countries. When Prabhupada used to go, there were many reporters used to ask him. Most common question was, what is the difference between a genuine guru and a fake guru? Right? Prabhupada used to say very simple. Genuine guru is one who is always talking about Krishna, wants to take you back to Krishna. Fake guru doesn't say there is Krishna, he says, I am God. You come to me. Right? One more question which one reporter asked once, Prabhupada. How do we know that we have come to the right guru, a genuine guru? Right? So Prabhupada says, if you are really genuine, then Krishna will take you to genuine guru. Because Lord is sitting as Paramatma. Now, if you are serious, sincere, looking for truth, Krishna will take you to the right person. Prabhupada gives the example of Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva was very sincere when he was insulted by his stepmother, and his mother told him, Krishna can only help you. Where is Krishna? Krishna is in the forest. So he went out to search for Krishna. Very serious. So Krishna sent Narada Muni to guide him further. That's how it is. So your sincerity also is important. Prabhupada says, if you go to a kirana shop and ask for 5 kilo gold, then it's very much, understandable that you don't have common sense. And the kirana shop also will nicely cheat you. Okay, 5 kilo gold you want, I'll give you, nice, take. So like this, if you are looking for something cheap, you will get something cheap. Okay? Cheaters and cheated. So this is the warning Prabhupada always gives us, to be very careful with regard to seeking the truth. It's not so cheap that you can get anywhere, anybody can become guru and anybody can give you anything. No, it's not like that. It is serious business. This much you have to understand. So here Prabhupada is telling to approach such a bona fide spiritual master who is coming in the parampara, our qualification should be, we should submit ourselves, pranipatena, and we should render service, sevaya, and inquire in a mood of understanding. Right? That is the whole qualification which we are supposed to have. Right? So Prabhupada says, such a spiritual master should be accepted in full surrender, pranipatena. One should serve the spiritual master like a menial servant, sevaya, without false prestige. Pariprashne. False prestige means I know better, I am better, I am bigger man, I am big man. No. No ahankara. In a mood of complete submission. You have to serve. So this is what Krishna is telling. And next Krishna says, verse number 35, that when you approach such a spiritual master, what is the effect of it? Yajñatva napunar moham evam yasyasi pandava yena bhutan asheshani drakshyasi atmani atho mayi. So when you have approached such a spiritual master, bona fide spiritual master, what happens is you will learn the truth from him. Right? Yajñatva. You will learn the truth from him. And this truth will bring you out of all the delusion or different illusory aspects of your life. You will be out of illusion. Punar moham evam yasyasi pandava. Right? So you will come to know the reality of life, the truth of life, because you approached a person who knows the truth. Tattva darshinaha. That's what Krishna says. You have to approach a person who has seen the truth. So the truth is, we are spirit souls. Krishna is the supreme spirit, and we are all part and parcel of him. We all belong to him. We don't have independent existence. This is the truth. Right now, the understanding which commonly people have is that we have nothing to do with Krishna. Krishna is only a great historical personality. Or even if there is some God, absolute truth, he is not a person, he is impersonal. Like this, there are so many untruths or false understandings going on in society. But the factual truth, when you approach a bona fide spiritual master, you'll get to know these things, that I am part and parcel of Krishna. Krishna is the supreme personality. I belong to Krishna. That's what Krishna says. Yena bhutana sheshani dakshasi atmani athomayi. They're all mine. Krishna is telling that we belong to him. This sense of belongingness, our true identity is revealed to us by Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. So, Prabhupada says, this is a wonderful revelation which happens when you approach a bona fide spiritual master. Right? So, the so many philosophical understandings and speculators and thinkers, right now, what we see around us, they all have their own way of presenting things. They're actually misleading or misguiding. Prabhupada says, Mayavadi philosophers wrongly think that Krishna loses his own separate existence in his many expansions. Right? Mayavadis say, oh, when Krishna comes to this material world, his existence is lost. They think Krishna is material. Just like in your pocket, if you have one white paper, if you break it into 10 pieces, the paper form is lost. So they bring down Krishna to be something like matter. That is wrong. Krishna's absolute nature, they don't know. Prabhupada very nicely says in this purport, very nicely he says, absolute means 1 plus 1 is equal to 1, 1 minus 1 is equal to 1. So you may say, what is this, Prabhuji? You don't know mathematics? I know, but this in absolute terms, it is different. 1 plus 1 is equal to 1, 1 minus 1 is equal to 1 means Krishna is complete and perfect. Any number of emanations coming out of Krishna, unlimited emanations, doesn't diminish Krishna's original situation. It's called Purna, complete, perfect. Right? Anything getting added, just like it is said, when Krishna appeared 5,000 years ago, all the different incarnations, Rama, Narasimha, Varaha, Matsya, Kurma, everybody, Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Narayana, they combined in Krishna's personality. 1 plus 1 is equal to 1. That's what I want to say. It's all mentioned in scriptures. So when Krishna his original spiritual existence as a cowherd boy was exhibited only in Vrindavan. In Mathura, when he went to kill Kansa and all the other, so many wrestlers, Krishna's Vasudeva form, that particular aspect of Krishna did the killing. Right? Like this, very nice descriptions are given in Bhagavatam. So whereas Krishna in Dwaraka, his mood is different. That mood is of opulence, awe, veneration. In Vrindavan, the mood is something different. Again, Chaitanya Charitamrita explains, when you say Krishna is Purna, Purna again, it explains how Purna, Purnatara, Purnatama. Just like we have good, better, best. Right? The comparative superlative degrees. So Krishna is Purnatama. Perfect, complete in its fullness in Vrindavan. Prabhupada gives an example of how the High Court judge in his court proceedings is having a different mood. With all that, dignity and respect, honor. That same High Court judge in his comeback home, he's in a different mood. So Krishna is in that mood, the homely mood. Friends are chastising him, gopis are scolding him, his mother is, scolding him. Right? They have forgotten Krishna is Supreme Lord. Just see. And Krishna likes this. Krishna says, this great Pandits chanting my glorifications by Vedic hymns, I don't like that so much as the scoldings I get from gopis and my mother. Right? That I like very much. This is the mood. This is called Purnatama. Like this, many wonderful descriptions are there. So this is the meaning of Krishna. So all these wonderful aspects of Krishna's personality is revealed by the bona fide spiritual master. So all of us have eternal relationship with Krishna, which we have forgotten. We are eternally connected to him as wonderful part and parcels, as servants, and we are inseparable, but somehow we are feeling separation. That is called Maya. Right? I am right now thinking, I don't know who is Krishna. I am independently existing. That is called Maya. So, this whole truth is revealed. This whole truth comes as a revelation when you have approached a bona fide spiritual master, surrendered to him, submissively, you have inquired from him and rendering service to him. This is the effect, right? So this is the, this is the symptom of a person who has actually approached a bona fide spiritual master. Otherwise, you will be in moha. Moha means delusion. Delusion of what is fact, what is reality, always in confusion. What is the truth? Always you're in confusion. That is the point. So this verse is a very important verse again, 35th verse, telling that when you approach a bona fide spiritual master, the truth is revealed to you. You will not go back into delusion. Delusion that I am this part. I am part of this material world. I don't have connection with Krishna, or I don't have any shelter. I don't have any belonging. Right? I don't have any sense of identity. This whole problem, identity crisis, will be finished. So very nicely Prabhupada explains. Perfect knowledge is that Supreme Soul Krishna is the supreme shelter of all living entities, and giving up such shelter, the living entities are deluded by material energy, imagining themselves to have a separate identity. This imagination is only our illusion. We are forgetful of a real situation. So, under different standards of material identity, they become forgetful of Krishna. So, we are forgetful of Krishna and taking up different roles in this material world. Sometimes as a human, sometimes as an animal. Like this, we're going on, in this material world, rotating in different life forms. We are Brahmana, we are doing Brahmana. Right? That is what is going on. So when you approach the bona fide spiritual master, you will come out of this delusion. Prabhupada explains, illusion means it's a smaller way of your covering of real knowledge. Delusion means that it's like a wholesale covering. That's why Prabhupada uses words very carefully in English. Illusion, delusion. Right? So Prabhupada says, liberation means what? When you approach a bona fide spiritual master, and the path of liberation means you are going to reinstate in your real situation as spirit soul, as part and parcel of Krishna, as eternal servant of Krishna. That's the point. So now Krishna starts explaining the wonderful glories of this transcendental knowledge. Next verse number 36, he says, Apichedasi papebhyah sarvebhyah papakrittamaha sarvam jnana plavenaiva vrajinam santarishyasi. So somebody may ask, oh, you need to have some qualification, you should have studied something, you should have some money, some family background. No, nothing required. In fact, Krishna says, even if you are the most sinful of all sinners, sarvebhyah papakrittamaha, apichedasi papebhyah, you are the most sinful of the all sinners, doesn't matter. Simply, if you are situated in the boat of transcendental knowledge, sarvam jnana plavenaiva vrijinam santarishyasi, you will be able to cross over this material ocean of nescience. Nescience means this bhavasagara. So basically, what is this knowledge? Proper knowledge. Boat of transcendental knowledge means understanding that what is my real identity? I am part and parcel of Krishna. Jivera Swarupa Nitya Krishna Dasa. This is called the boat of transcendental knowledge. So proper understanding of our real situation, Prabhupada says, it can lift one from the struggle for existence. Otherwise, because of ignorance, we have been going on life after life, life after life. Right? So, Prabhupada says, you may be a very expert person in this material world. Oh, I am that great technician, I am a scientist, I am a lawyer, I am that. I can come across any problem and I'll solve the problem. Prabhupada says, it's only, it's a fake statement. Prabhupada says, you may be an expert swimmer, but in the ocean, even your expert swimmer, the struggle for existence is very severe. Right? Whatever expert swimmer you are, how long you will swim? That's the point. So basically, this boat of transcendental knowledge means it is such a big, wonderful saving grace. It is actually the knowledge which the spiritual master gives you, is that he is going to pick you up from this ocean. Right? He is that embodiment of that knowledge. Spiritual master is going to give you that knowledge and put that rope to you so that you can pull the rope, hold the rope tightly, and then spiritual master is going to pull that rope for you. And he is giving that rope in the form of Hare Krishna mantra. You should hold the rope with both the hands. Holding both the hands means chanting, hearing, chanting, hearing, chanting, hearing. Then immediately Krishna, Prabhupada will pull you up. Right? This is the point. So, Prabhupada is already given us this rope to us. We have to hold the rope tightly. And then when you're holding the rope and praying, then Prabhupada will lift you up. Right? So Prabhupada says, the boat of Krishna consciousness is very simple, at the same time, most sublime. Sublime means you can get lifted from any, abominable level to the highest level. Like in science, you have heard sublimation. Right? Generally, solid will become liquid, liquid then will become gas. Sublimation means solid can become gas. Right? That's what you have understood in physics. So likewise, this position of Krishna consciousness is such that's so powerful that you adopt the process or take the process, it will lift you from whatever lowest position you are to the highest position. So here, the boat is actually the spiritual master, his knowledge, his guidance, his support, which we have to somehow hold on to. Right? If you are on the boat of transcendental knowledge, means what? If you are always situated in the direction, knowledge, instructions which spiritual master is giving you constantly. Prabhupada says, I have never forgotten the instructions of my spiritual master, not even for a moment. Always trying to follow the instructions of my spiritual master. So which means you can easily come across or swim across or get across this ocean of Bhavasagara. Right? Otherwise, you are lost. Very nice example which Krishna is giving here. Next, Krishna gives one more wonderful example in verse number 37. Yathaidhamsi samiddhognir bhasmasat kurute Arjuna jnanagnihi sarva karmani bhasmasat kurute tatha. Now he gives the example of this fire, blazing fire. Jnanagni. Right? Remember, in the previous verse number 19, the same chapter, Krishna mentioned this aspect about Jnanagni again. Right? Yasya sarve samarambha kama sankalpa varjita Jnanagni dagdha karmanam tamahu panditam budaha. So this Jnanagni means the fire of knowledge should be burning your mind, in our mind. Right now, Ajnana is burning in our mind. So much of wrong misconceptions, understandings, misapprehensions, is all constantly going on. Fire means always it is blazing. So the fire of knowledge should be blazing in our minds, Prabhupada says. So when the fire of knowledge is blazing in our mind, what happens? Just like a blazing fire burns firewood to ashes. Similarly, the fire of knowledge will burn away all our karmas. Jnanagni sarva karmani. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo. This karma cycle is what Krishna has been describing here. How our karmas are actually making us to repeatedly take birth and go on in our life in this world. Repetition of birth and death and suffering, enjoying, all is because of our previous karma. Sarva karmani bhasmasat. Bhasma means all these karmas, all the reactions of material activities will be burned to ashes. So this is possible when you are situated in proper understanding always. Right? So this is very important, a wonderful revelation Krishna is telling. Prabhupada explains in this context how the cycle of karma is acting in our life. In a very brief way, he says, but detailed description is given elsewhere. Whenever you perform any action, the action is deposited in our subtle body as a bija, seed. And that bija gradually, grows based on your various inclinations, your past karma, guna, kala, karma, that force is going to bijas to start fructifying. Right? So, bija, kuta, and phalonmukha. Phalonmukha means they are almost about to give you results, good or bad results. Prarabdha. Prarabdha means which you are experiencing now as good and bad results. Happiness, distress, what you're experiencing now is prarabdha. So it is a chain of action reactions going on. When one action is done, or rather when something has been done, it is some desire or some action you have done, that reaction will you have to enjoy, suffer. So whenever you do any wrong action, papa karma, it is sure that you are going to suffer for that. And when you do a pious action, you are so sure to be enjoying the results of that in the future. So nothing is accidental in this material world. That's what we have to understand. In this material world, anything is happening in anybody's life is all because of so many previous action-reaction cycles, something fructifying at one particular point of time and manifesting as sukha dukkha. So what Krishna is telling us here is that when you have proper understanding, proper knowledge of who you are, and you act in that platform, then all the action-reaction cycles are burned to ashes. Jnanagni sarva karmani bhasmasat kurute tatha. This is what Krishna is saying. Okay? One overcomes both the pious and impious interactions of work. Actually, one important revelation Prabhupada makes here is both good karma, bad karma are entangling. Right? We should do akarma, which is beyond good karma and bad karma. That's why, while chanting the holy names, one of the offenses we chant is to consider chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activity. So there are so many recommendations in Karma Kanda. Karma Kanda means some Papa Karma you have done, so you do this Punya Karma to counteract that Papa Karma. Chanting is not like that. Chanting is beyond that. Right? That is what you have to understand. So, good, bad, both are entangling. Whereas when you are situated in this boat of transcendental knowledge, actually chanting Hare Krishna will bring you to this platform of pure knowledge, pure understanding, pure Sachidananda level, complete existence, complete knowledge, complete Ananda, where you transcend all these action reactions of everything else. That's the point. So Krishna explained the spiritual understanding as the boat of transcendental deliverance from this material existence. Krishna also explained this jnana as agni, this fire, this knowledge as fire which can burn away all our past karma. And verse 38, Krishna says, again, he's glorifying the jnana. Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitra miha vidyate tat swayam yoga samsiddha kalena atmani vindati. Krishna is telling that this knowledge, transcendental knowledge, about who you are, what is your relationship with Krishna, and perfect understanding of all these things is sublime. There's nothing comparable to this. There's something which is excellent. Nothing so sublime and pure as transcendental knowledge. And this knowledge, if you have come to this understanding, Krishna says, it is yoga samsiddha. This is the mature fruit of devotional service. Which means, if you come to this understanding that I am part and parcel of Krishna, I have to serve Krishna only, there's nothing else I'm supposed to be doing. This is the effect of all the different yogas, different understanding, different type of various rituals you have done. Mother Devahuti, mother of Lord Kapila, she, towards the end, she's glorifying the chanting of the holy names. So she says, if somebody is able to, on somebody's tongue, the holy name is appearing means, somebody is able to chant Hare Krishna means, he has done all the rituals, he has performed all the various studies, Vedic studies, he has performed all the visit to all the holy places, he has taken bath in all the different holy tirthas, like this, he has performed all the various punya activities to come to this level of holy name coming on his tongue. Just see. So, chanting Krishna's names, trying to perform your activities for Krishna's satisfaction, if this mature understanding has come, then this knowledge, Prabhupada says, is the effect of your devotional service being awakened in you properly. Yoga samsiddha, mature fruit of all mysticism. So when you have come to this stage, Krishna says, you are going to experience happiness within. Right? You're going to enjoy the self within. Right? It's what Krishna explained in the 3rd chapter, verse number 17. If you see, what did he say? Yastvatmarati revasya atmatriptasya manava atmaneva cha santushta tasya karyam na vidyate. Right? He's taking pleasure in the self, in the mind in the self, rejoices in and satisfied with the self only. So this is the point. So when you have come to the right understanding of your real situation, true identity, then this understanding is going to drive away all the ignorance, all the darkness in our understanding. Right? Ignorance is because of our own wrong understanding, misconceptions, avidya. Right? Avidya is because of our performance of so many sinful activities, Prabhupada says. So, when you have come to the right understanding because of purification, it will reveal to you everything. As Chaitanya Charitamrita says, Krishna Surya Sama Maya Andhakara. Krishna is like bright sun and Maya is dense darkness. When Krishna has revealed in your heart, there is no place for darkness, Maya. So, This Maya is the cause for our bondage, ignorance is the cause of bondage, and knowledge is the cause of liberation purposes. So this is the wonderful glories of Jnana, transcendental knowledge, which Krishna is revealing. Boat of transcendental knowledge as the fire of transcendental knowledge and the perfection of all mature fruit of devotional understanding, which is going to give you happiness, enjoyment within always. Kale Atmani Vindati, right? Krishna says. So it's a matter of time that you come to this level of understanding. For Krishna is telling Kale Atmani means eventually you'll come to this understanding when you have reached this perfection. That's what Krishna is telling here. So we'll continue our discussions in the next session, conclude this chapter in the next session. We have 3 or 4 more verses in this chapter. Okay. So I'll stop here. Anybody has anything to ask, discuss, comment?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you, there is something, we are all struggling with our material minds, even during chanting and at other times. Is there something called a spiritual mind, and when does that come into play? Please tell us.
See, right now, our the energy from soul, like light, is radiating, right? Whereas our identity of soul's personality is sleeping, right? So as you are purified, or you try to awaken by the different procedures or processes which Prabhupada has given us, proportionately your soul will be awakened. When your soul is awakened means just like when you are sleeping with your complete personality as a person, right? Your mind, your senses, everything is sleeping. When you awaken, gradually you come from the sleeping state to awakened state. That is a everyday experience for you, right? So it depends on your sincere endeavor and Krishna's mercy, Prabhupada's mercy, how this awakening will happen. But we can get a understanding by going through the various teachings of Prabhupada. What will be the awakened stage? This is one example here we are seeing now in verse 38. You're going to enjoy the self within. One stage of awakening. When you're awakened, actually, you're going to experience this. So right now, because I'm not awakened, I'm not able to experience this. So your question is, when it will happen? Krishna's answer here is, in due course of time. In due course of time, when you are sincerely following the things, doesn't mean you sincerely follow, it has to happen. Again, it completely depends on Guru Krishna Kripa. In Bhakti, we are only begging for Kripa. When Kripa will be given, it is Prabhupada's will and Krishna's will. But we go on continuing in the anticipation that yes, one day Lord will bestow mercy upon me. That hope we have, because Lord is very merciful. As Prabhupada also says in that verse 34 purport, a bona fide spiritual master is by nature very kind toward the disciple. So Krishna also is Karuna Sagara. Guru also is Karuna Sagara. So they will bestow mercy. That much hope I have. That is one of the aspects of devotional feelings. Asha Bandha. Right? Explained in the Nectar of Devotion, how we should have that hope. In the material world, the hope, this hope is hopeless actually. Whatever you hope will not happen, but you are hoping against hope. Durashaya ye bahirarthamanina, Prahlad Maharaj says. You hope against hope, which is actually hopeless. In the spiritual life, you hope, and devotees feel more ecstatic by hoping more and more, because Krishna and Guru are very merciful. So this is the whole thing. So the answer is yes. It's all a combination of your sincere desire to be awakened, and Krishna here and there explains in Bhagavad Gita. Even the Bhagavad Gita is very preliminary. He explains here and there, gives hints. As I told you yesterday, the 3rd chapter is hinted. The next chapter also will hint about Atma Atma Santushti. He explains in one of the verse. Right. So like this, Krishna is hinting out that that this is very much anta sukha antararama tha antar jyotirevaha. Happiness within, rejoice within. So these hints are given that it is very much part of your your real situation of awakened state of your spiritual mind, spiritual senses. See, one thing you have to understand: your mind, your intelligence, and your identity as a material identity, whatever is there, is because your spiritual identity is there. Right now, that is sleeping. That only has to be properly awakened in a proper state. That awakening means basically the purification. How much you are endeavoring for being in constantly in touch with the spiritual that energy to awaken. The spiritual energy is derived by you'll come in touch with spiritual energy constantly by chanting uninterruptedly, by regularly performing the sadhana program Prabhupada has given. So gradually that awakening will happen. It's not that today I am like this and tomorrow I'll be awakened. No, it is a process. Like it's how from the sleeping state you gradually wake up, and gradually things you become see, it will take some time, say say a few minutes or 1 hour to come to the normal stage. When you immediately get up, you can know you were just sleeping, right? Similarly, so it's a stage wherein in your life you have been sleeping for so many lifetimes, millions of lifetimes, right? So to become Buddha Bhava Samanvita, as Krishna says in 10th chapter, to become that stage of awakened state, it'll happen in a stage wise. And Rupa Goswami explains all this in the Nectar of Devotion. How when you are awakened, or when you are getting awakened, just like in chanting also, there are 3 stages. Right now we are doing the stage of offensive chanting, Namaparadha. The next stage is called Namabhasa. Namaparada means we are doing so many offenses while chanting. But recommendation is go on chanting, and you'll come to a stage wherein the offenses will be almost nil. And that stage is called Namabhasa, wherein you'll start experiencing the stage of liberation. Yes, see. And this stage of liberation will lead you to what is known as Shuddha Nama, purified chanting, wherein just like Prabhupada says, Sanjaya was able to have a direct live telecast of Kurukshetra going on in the battlefield, whatever is happening. So like that, there will be live telecast of Krishna Leela going to play in your heart. That is awakened state. Right? So, even that glimpse, Nama Bhasa means a glimpse. Just like night, now it is night. When morning is going to happen slowly, 5 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock, there is slowly the sun is rising. You can sense some darkness going away, light is coming. Right? That is called Nama Bhasa. Awakening, or the sun is rising slowly. When sun is risen fully, full brightness. Right? So I'm just trying to give a sense of awakening. Awakening is not that today I am sleeping and tomorrow, oh, I'll be self-realized. No. It is a stage wherein gradually, by becoming more and more seriously, trying to follow trying to take up the principles given in Bhagavad Gita, teachings of Prabhupada, internalizing them and trying to adopt everything, trying to first of all seeing that our 24 hours time is absorbed in Krishna's services. That is going to bring in that revelation gradually in our consciousness. Right. So that is again Guru Krishna Kripa. But from our side, we'll seriously, sincerely, enthusiastically, Prabhupada says, today we are reading in the morning Mangalarti quote. Enthusiastically we will do our services, and we will do it with great determination. Determination that yes, Krishna has told or said like this in Bhagavad Gita. See, Krishna is telling so many nice things here. You see, simply sit on this boat of transcendental knowledge, you will be crossing the ocean of nescience. Simply awaken this knowledge constantly, it will burn away all your karmas. This strong confidence we have in words of Krishna. We'll go on like this. Prabhupada says, will not be impatient. We'll go on. What way Krishna wants to bestow mercy, left to him. Right? So, in devotional service, we do from our side whatever sincerely we can do, and results leave it to Krishna. Right? That is how the devotional way, the whole dynamics works. Whereas the material way of working is, I have done so much, and I have to get this. It's my right. Right? Demand. That's why this, union, labor, and all this communism has started. Because that is the mood in material world, demanding and dictating. Right? In spiritual world, it is not like that. In spiritual world is, Krishna, you want, you give, otherwise I'll always be crying for you. That is my pleasure. The gopis, it's the last statement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Shikshashtaka. He says, Ashlishya vapada ratam pinashtumam adarshanan varmahatam karotuva. So, Krishna, you are actually a lumpet. Lumpet means, you look forward for so many other women. I know you are a lumpet, but even then, you become visible to me or don't become visible to me. You bestow mercy upon me, don't bestow mercy upon me. You trample me. Whatever it is, whatever situation you keep, you're always my master. Right? Aslishya vapadarata pinishtum adarshana marmahatam kartuva yatha tathava viradhata lampato mat prananatastu sa eva napara. I don't have any other master other than you. Which means, whatever you do, I am completely surrendered to you. You handle me the way you want. There is no demand from me. I only accept your command. That is the mode of devotion. Right? So otherwise, what happens in the material world? Oh, I did so much. No, I did so much of chanting. Krishna is not giving mercy only, as though Krishna is your order supplier. I was hearing when the Prabhupada's Hindi lecture, Prabhupada is telling, भगवान आप जप कर रहे हैं, भगवान बंसी बजा के आ जाएंगे, तो भगवान क्या आपका बाप का नौकर है? तो बंसी बजा के आ जाएगा. आपके पास भक्ति होना है. Very nice. Prabhupada, some lectures are there in Hindi. You should hear them. So like this, Bhagavan is not our baap ka naukar that he will do whatever you want. Okay, he's autocrat. He's transcendent. Whenever he wants, whatever he wants, he will do. Right? He kept the gopis waiting for 100 years. Who are we? Gopis are so elevated devotees. So that mood of separation also is one more rasa. Bhakti rasa it is. Oh, Krishna is not giving mercy. Yes, Krishna has some reason why he should not give mercy to you now. You experience that, enjoy that, relish that. That's what it is. So why it is not awakened? Why it is not awakened? That feeling of anticipation also is one rasa. Right? When, how, when. It's like the example of Shabari is there. Waiting. So many years she was waited. But she was waiting. Krishna will come. But hope is there that Krishna will bestow mercy. Because Krishna will never give up his Bhakta Vatsala. That hope is there. Right? So that way we go on with our services. When, how Krishna decides. Okay. So that's what I can answer your question as. Okay. Fine.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Close now, I think. We'll continue discussion next time. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Baba.